Timothy Asobele is a university don, a professor of European languages at the University of Lagos, Nigeria, with over 30 years of experience in the Nigerian educational sector. He has a PhD in French and comparative literature. But perhaps the most remarkable thing about him is the fact that he has written and published over 80 books spanning fields like Yoruba studies, French literature, cultural diplomacy, world theater language and linguistics, and of course, French grammar and communication skills. At the University of Lagos in Akoka, we met Professor Timothy Asobele to explore his writings and a few other related thoughts. Prof, it's nice to have you on the Channels Book Club.
Thank you.
And thank you for hosting us in your great university.
Thank you, sir.
You've written over 80 books.
Yes, by God's grace.
How does somebody write over 80 books? That's a lot. How have you done that?
Well, it all started, while we were doing our NYSC in Calabar in 1974, 1975. Three of us, Professor Aderigbe of Metallurgy Department, Professor Tade of Sociology Department, and myself of European Studies Department. Of the three of us at NYSC camp in Calabar, I was the first to go out in 1975, September 30th, to University of Paris. But while we were in the camp, we said we must reorientate our scholarship, our curriculum in African universities, that people of African descent, that those who are educated through the books they read in Nigerian university libraries, through the textbooks that they read in their department, all those books were written by foreigners. And what do we expect of them? They are going to be brainwashed. They are going to have what we call a mental, reconstruction. But we said, when we finish, we are going to work what we call culture and democracy. Culture and democracy, we are going to write books that we speak about our own people, speak about our culture, speak about all that is positive. That conviction, that vision we had in 1975, I still hold on to that vision. That's why you see
so
me
that
writing.
drove you to write all
That's
these books.
the engine behind it.
Kaba is where you came from.
Yes, Kaba is where I come from.
You've written like...
about 15 books on Kaba.
15 books?
15 books, yes. A language without a dictionary is likely to die, to be extinct.
A language without a dictionary?
Oh yes, it will be extinct. You can see that's why we started with Kaba Dictionary. Then we started, the follow-up, we have Kaba Language and Linguistics. You must, the nitty-gritty of the language and the linguistics, you must follow it up. And then I've just started with diachronological. We have all those oral narratives in Kaba, in Yoruba. I gave all this to Ooni of Ife on Thursday. All the Kaba books, I gave it to Ooni of Ife with a matching order that we must revisit our educational system in a power-studded letter to him. So that if our cousins in Cuba, in Brazil, Bahia to be certain, I was in Bahia to go and teach them Yoruba there in 2006. OAU asked me to go and teach Yoruba to our brothers in the state of Bahia, El Salvador, because the enormity of my research in Yoruba dialectology. And that's why, first of all, charity begins at home. I know Kaba culture very well, Kaba language very well, Kaba literature very well. That's why I started.
Are there other books written on Kaba?
Oh, yes.
Outside of what you have written?
Oh, yes, Okun People. Okun People, it's a pity since I didn't write it, it's in my office, was written by Chief Samuel of Kaba, of the Kaba royal family.
So how would you describe the prior efforts to yours writing about Kaba?
Well, it's a pioneering thing. There is no prior effort. The one that should have been was Samuel Ajayi Crowther in Lokoja in those days, the Bishop of Niger. He he missed the opportunity to do Kaba word list. And after reading his biography and the effort he deployed in writing Nupe word list, Igbo word list, Samuel Ajaka, I decided to do a pioneering job for him, especially our royal institution. And that's why because royalty is very important. If we said culture and democracy, if we don't have a past, we will not have a future. For the Kaba people, I decided to write a play. The play is not the name of a particular Obaro of Kaba, but Kaba. So Kaba has assumed a symbolic interpretation, meaning that it's the whole community that I'm writing about. Our past, our future, and all written about us is what I've encompassed in this. All the Obaros of the Ilajo royal family that has ruled Kaba in the 16th century to this very present moment, because Obaro just joined his ancestor 3 weeks ago, so that our children will not lose touch of our own history.
Prof.
Yes.
This is Ogu
Umuwanyi. Umu is children.
It's about women.
Is women, about women riot.
Interesting.
You take one home.
Why did you write this?
Why I wrote it, as a student of UNN, University of Nigeria, to restore the dignity of man. Our motto at Nsukka is to restore the dignity of man.
Okay.
My thesis in University of Paris was the role of African women in Senegalese literature, MA. And during the thesis, my professor, after reading it, gave me mention très bien, meaning that very good. I don't know what you can call it, whether first class. I'm not interested. It's the evidence of good work that I'm interested in. So when he gave me mention très bien, I said, okay, then when I get back home, I'm going to study the movement. It was a revolt against the colonial master. They wanted to take a census of African women so that they can tax them. The women of Aba decided to work against them and went into the street to start not a riot, a war. It was mischievous of the British authorities to call it a riot. It was a war, a battle against the obnoxious rule and policies of the British people. And they won the battle against the British people in 1929.
That's a very important event.
Very important.
In history.
Nnamdi Azikiwe rode on the back of this other women riot as a talkative, as a nationalist, as a journalist, to say, for the first time, we are restoring the integrity, to restore the dignity of African women. And that was why Nnamdi Azikiwe chose, for my own university, University of Nigeria, the motto is to restore the dignity of man.
Interesting. And this is about three unending, please.
Yes.
Biafra?
Yes, it is.
Tell me a bit about this.
Why did I write this? Gowon came in August 1971 to University of Nigeria, Nsukka, okay. And the children of the staff school sang a song, a melodious song, that they don't want to see any civil war in their own lifetime. That is 1971-72 session. And here you are, those children 45 years after, Kanu, who were supposed to be among those children of his age at Nsukka, 12-year-old children, 10-year-old children at Nsukka school, who sang that, promise us we'll never see any war again, here again. And I wrote that he prayed that God will help Gowon to win the unity war with a vow to enroll at University of Nigeria, Nsukka, East Central State, in order to be an instrument of peace, an instrument, an ambassador, to nurture reconciliation, rehabilitation, and reconstruction. No victor, no vanquish. Gowon was a great leader, like Abraham Lincoln. And when I heard this, I said, no, the president of Fellowship of Christian Students, who vowed to go to Nsukka, this is my vow to Almighty God, the Father Almighty, that I serve. I vowed when I get there, I'm going to write an account that those children we never see any second war.